Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Lotus Awakening, and we are back today with another Tekken 8 video. And for this video, we're going to be talking about the man himself, Victor. We did make a video recently on the character a couple weeks back when it was regarding his buffs and nerfs in the most recent patch for Tekken. And I let this cement for a couple weeks now, and obviously with the passing of CEO, we saw a little bit more of what the game is shaping up to be. And I wanted to talk about Victor because I feel like Victor's been an interesting topic for the past couple weeks, especially with how a lot of people have said that the character's been bad, or he's not as bad as he used to be, he's actually better, or I've heard people say that he's actually broke. So this is going to be a fun discussion. This is going to probably be a shorter video, to say the least, but let's get right into it. So the first talking point is the state of Victor. So what are we talking about here today, and why are we talking about this, right? Talking about the state of Victor is very interesting, to say the least, because the past couple weeks we've been seeing a lot of discourse on this character, seeing what is making this character bad, what is making this character good. Is the character going to be, in everybody else's eyes, a top 5 character at some point? Is it going to be a top 10 character? So this is all up for discussion, and obviously we bring up the topics that we're going to have today because I want you guys to, down below, answer these questions in your opinion and tell me what you think, right? Because this is the point of this channel, in my opinion, is that I made this so we can have discussion, so we can talk about characters and we can talk about fighting games in general and see what people think. Because having various opinions is always good. It's always fantastic to have many people come in and give their thoughts on a character, whether it's good or bad. So let's see what we can talk about here. So let's get back to it. The state of Victor from the past couple of weeks I've been seeing is that Victor is floating around top 15 to top 20. And I've seen some people, some pros, write him in top 22, sometimes top 23. I think that's a little bit too crazy. I think the right mindset right now for Victor is to have him around top 15, top 20. I think he's floating around there. Now, you can call it downplay, you can call it whatever you want. I have played the character since the game launched, and obviously he was in a way better state back then because he was way more busted. His throws were damn near untechable. He had fantastic damage, obviously. He was a lot faster when it comes to wall running too, when it comes to back 1+2, all this stuff, yeah, we've known from the last patch. Does it really change Victor though? In my opinion, I feel like it doesn't. Like, yes, he has received some notable nerfs, right? When it came to this nerf and this being slower and changed from +5 to +2, but even though now you can cancel into the EI stance, so it makes it 50 times better to apply his mix-up game, I do think the character is still in a very good spot. Now, I don't think he's around top 20, nor top 23. But again, I'm not a pro player. So, I mean, obviously, these are all various opinions. But I do think the character is in a solid state where he's got good stuff going for him, but he's got things where you're like, okay, he lacks. So, like, obviously, we've talked about it before. Victor, in my opinion, has always had weak lows. This is from the day one as well. Day one, I've always felt Victor's lows were not that great when it came to being on hit or damage, and down back 4 being his only good low besides Perfumer low. I mean, this is a terrible low too. Down 1 is not a good low. This low is not bad, but the problem is that if they block the first hit, the second hit obviously is going to be ducked instantly and you get full combo launch. So I mean, there's gaps to his game plans, and there's a lot of things where if you don't know, then yeah, you're going to have a tough time against Victor. And that's where it brings me into the next thing, is that Victor is a very linear character. And this has been something that's been since the beginning of the game. And obviously with the new buffs to Perfumer 1+2, this has obviously changed as well, where if you know that Victor is very weak to sidestep right, this right here will not jail. This is something that we used to get with this, right? This used to jail, obviously, but this is no longer +5. But now, since this doesn't jail, we thought that this would probably jail, but the problem is that it still doesn't jail. And it's a weird thing, right? Is that you have something as good as Perfumer 1+2, and you have 1+2 to counter, to hit him on counter hit and go for big damage. But since we don't have this, it's like you have to be careful with throwing it out, because anybody that's good enough at the game and knows that Victor's very easy to sidestep right, electric, or whoever you're playing, sidestep right, launch, and then Victor's in a world of trouble. Obviously, you do have counterplay to this, where you do have up 2, or you have down 4, or sorry, down back 4. You have 2 options there to cover it, if you believe a sidestep is happening. But if the player is good enough, you can sidestep and block that down back four just in time. So if the player is reading that you're going to down back four this, they could sidestep and then hold down and then block instantly, and then you're full combo launch. So depending on the player you're going against, you can bait this out correctly. The same thing goes for mid, because obviously when you're sidestepping, you want to block as well. So like you could sidestep regularly and let the animation go, and obviously there's a little bit more recovery to it. But if you sidestep and block, then obviously you're going to be able to block in time. So I mean, it all depends on the player that you're going against. So this has been a thing that Victor's always had, though. This is not something brand new. If you never knew this about Victor, then well, now you know. Is that Victor's always been a very sidesteppable character, and obviously with the recent nerfs to this move, this obviously is very sidesteppable now. I've been playing a lot of more ranked matches with Victor, and obviously from the last video that you guys saw, we hit Tekken King, and there were a lot of players that were sidestepping this, and even I had a couple comments on there saying that Victor's he's very sidesteppable, and yeah, that is very true. This character's moves are very, very sidesteppable now, so makes his game plan a little bit less oppressive, unless you're applying the pressure up here. But that's for another video if we wanted to talk about his pressure. The point of this video is to just go over Victor in general and see what we can talk about in the comments down below. So the last thing that we're going to talk about for this video, and then we're going to close it out, is what can be improved with Victor, right? And obviously this comes with opinion, what I think, what you guys think, because obviously I would love to know what you guys think down below. So in my opinion, I do believe that Victor could receive a nice little buff to his lows. I think his lows are not amazing. 10 damage, and then we have 11 damage, and obviously we have 17 damage. I do think that maybe buffing this to maybe like 12 damage would be fun. Would be nice for him, and then buffing this to about 12 as well. I think giving him a little bit more damage on his lows will always benefit, because these are good for checks and stuff, and these are good for poking and neutral and stuff. So I think that's a good place to start for Victor, is buffing a little bit of his lows. Not by too much, not changing the frame data on them by any means, just giving him a little bit more damage, because the character's lows, in my opinion, have been lacking since the beginning of the game. Second thing that I do believe that Victor should get an improvement on is forward 4. Forward 4 is a solid mid, don't get me wrong, because obviously you have this, but the problem with forward 4 1 is that it is a high, and if somebody does end up ducking this, yeah, full combo launch, and that's your ass. You're getting hit for a lot of damage, especially if you're going against a character like Kazuya. He's launching you, you're losing half your life, and then you're going to have to guess on the next attempt that Kazuya has for his mix-up game. So Victor, I believe this move should be -9. That's my opinion, at least. I think having this at -9 would be good for him. It's a good mid check and neutral, and it's like stand 3, right? Stand 3, even though it's a high, it is -9. I think the same thing should be applied to here, where this is a mid, but it should be only -9, because having this be his option to be safe is terrible. And then you have this, obviously, but it is a -12 punish, and even if you cancel an EI, it's not real. So I mean, if you decide to cancel an EI, you're crazy, because you're just going to get launched in general. So there's a lot of things that Victor does so well that when you see his weaknesses, it's like you don't think that the weaknesses are that bad, but they really are, which is why I do believe the character is still floating around 15 to 20. Is that while the character still has a strong throw game, he still has strong mids down up 2 and then down 2, he still has some glaring problems when it comes to him being a very linear character. Moves like this, or this, or what else is it? Yeah, moves like this could be easily sidesteppable before he even does it. Like this move right here, I believe could be sidesteppable as well. Like there's a lot of things that Victor has where you're like, you kind of have to be careful with it. I don't think you'd be able to buff back 1. I always thought that you could, but I mean, if you buff back 1, it could be very annoying to like approach Victor, because this could be a fantastic keep out tool, because it already has great range on it. Even though they did nerf it with the recent hurt box on it, they've extended it a little bit forward. It is -13, but at range, you're not really getting punished for this. Like, nobody's punishing you from this range and shit, unless you whiff it. If you whiff it, then yeah, you're gonna probably get punished. But this from range, I don't think you're gonna get touched. But tell me down below though, what do you guys think? What, in your opinion, you think Victor should get improved on, if there's anything to improve on the character? Do you think the character is in a good enough state where you don't feel he deserves any buffs right now or nerfs? Or do you think that the character's still pretty OP? Do you think he's broke? Do you think he's causing a lot of problems in the scene still? Do you think that he shouldn't be where he's at right now on tier list? Do you think he should be higher, lower, stuff like that? Give me your opinions down below on the character when it comes to anything. So yeah, I think that's where we're gonna end this video. I do appreciate you guys. Once again, I say this every video, but you guys have been going so crazy on all these videos, like with the likes and comments, really giving me your feedback on everything. And especially now with this video, I hope you guys really give me your feedback on this, because this is a fun video where we're gonna have some great conversations down below. I want to see what people think of the character Victor. What can we do with this character? What is the state of him? Give me your tier list opinions. Where do you put him on your tier list? What can be improved about him? All that good stuff that we just went over in this entire video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this, man. I think we're going to be uploading this on a Tuesday, so this should be fun. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.